Welcome to Toffee TV. It is live at 5. Oh, 9.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh, 9. I mean, we've literally been trying to... We would have got on earlier, but we've been trying to...
We might have to turn that camera very slightly.
Oh, go on. Are we... Go on.
Let's see, it'll move slightly in a minute. Let's see if we've achieved.
Oh.
Have we achieved? That's good enough, isn't it?
No, it's not. Just a little bit more. There we go. I want to get us more central.
Let's see. That's your...
Hang on. There we go.
Yeah,
there you go.
All right.
That's okay.
We're happy with that.
Yeah, we were trying to set up Road to Glory, and for some reason, the thing that helps us do it wasn't working. So
We'll get there.
we'll get there.
At some stage.
We're always finding new ways to create new problems.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. But as Tom said before, it's the growth.
It is. Kane has been straight on, and he says one of the best weekends in a while. That beautiful, wasn't it?
It was.
It was absolutely beautiful.
It's not good, that is it? It's not good to be saying that in October, is it?
No, it's not. Gary Ward says, howdy, Siren, hello. Derek Hilton says, hi lads, hope you both had great weekends. The walk went so well. I finished dead last, but I finished and raised some money, made lots of new friends, and basically had a ball. Yes, Degs. I seen Degsy yesterday, and you didn't come in last at all, Degs. You just had the brains to just take it easy and just walk around nice and chilled out and take in the local landscape. Although we did have to walk past or run past Anfield, which was very strange. I mean, didn't just have to run past the front; we had to run past the side as well.
Well, that's all right. It's our history, those parts of our history.
I know. But it was nice to see you, Degs, and hopefully you got back. Well, obviously you must have got back to Southport. Okay, so nice to see you. Steve Kelly says, "All right, lads, hope you had a great weekend." I certainly did. I will be honest. I am dreading Saturday. I go into with no confidence and hate early kickoffs. Do you think it's time to take Michael Keane off the team on Saturday? His confidence looks shot. Right, let's get new week. Start of a new week. Everton playing on Saturday. Let's
Pick the energy
let's
up.
be positive this week. Let's leave all the doom and gloom to last week, where with somehow the manager being sacked and all that. That's not happening. So let's try and be positive. Michael Keane, yeah, I do agree. His confidence does look shot, and Holgate is there, but is this time to play Holgate? Is this not time to let Keane play through his issues? I don't know. What are your thoughts, Baz?
I don't know. It's the answer. He does look like he's struggling. You know that I've defended Keane. And I still think he's a good defender, but I think he's a defender that has to be playing with a certain amount of confidence, and then he can play his own game. I feel as though the only issue I'd have bringing Holgate in is that we're going to be up against Seb Hallett, who's a big unit, and it's starting that new partnership off. The reality of that partnership, though, is Mason's best games for us came at centre-back when he had that spell partner and Ashley Williams, if you remember.
Yeah.
Played at Anfield, I thought he was superb. The two games at Anfield up against Liverpool, and that in the cup game, he was brilliant. The only issue with Mason Holgate is he's a young centre-back, and young centre-backs make mistakes. And he's got a mistake in him at the moment, Mason, in terms of whether it's going to sleep and letting people run off him or stepping out when he possibly shouldn't. The only way he's going to get better at that is by playing games and learning on the job. But would the manager be brave enough to take Michael Keane out the defence as well at the weekend? No Seamus Coleman, of course. That might be a little bit too much to lose two at the defence. I'm not saying, Keane's... But what I would say, Steve, is, I feel as though Holgate and Mina could complement each other. Because I think Yerry Mina, to me, has been our best player this season overall.
Another clean sheet for him over the weekend as well.
Yeah. He's he knows how to defend the kid, and he's got that nasty streak in him. And I think having someone with a bit of pace alongside him, like Mason, a bit more mobile maybe, might be a good partnership. But at some stage, if Michael Keane's form continues the way it is, he should be taken out the team, and that's someone who thinks he's a good defender. But I feel as though nobody should be safe in terms of playing games for Everton. If you're not performing, you need to come out the team. So, but whether I do it Saturday, I don't know. I guess it's something for the manager to look at. England are playing again, aren't they, tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't think he's playing. Is
he not playing?
Tyrone Mings is playing.
Jesus.
I mean, that's
Well, that says it
that's
all.
going to be a hit to his confidence. No, I don't think he's...
Well, then it's up to the manager this week to see what he looks like in training, but I don't think the manager would make that many changes in terms of Coleman out, Keane out, and then having Sidibe next to someone who's not playing all the time is a bit of a... I think if Coleman was available, then I think it's an interesting one then. But don't know is the real answer.
Yeah.
Would you take him out?
I'd like to take him out.
Yeah.
I just don't know whether Holgate's the solution. I don't. But
how would you know?
No, but that's interesting because you just said it yourself. Young players made mistakes. You know, John Stones got in the side and
was allowed to play.
We've seen Holgate. Maybe we're just being. What do you think? Honestly, do you think Holgate's capable of if he was given like 20 games? 15, 20 games where you could let him make his mistakes. Do you think? Because I seen him in the summer. We both seen him, and when was it? Was it Wigan when we both seen him? And we both thought he'd bulked up a little bit.
Wigan, yeah.
He's obviously got pace. I think his biggest problem is he switches off, and that leads him to make mistakes. I mean, I've seen him do it a few times where he's not fully concentrating and doesn't quite realise the ball is around him, and then just like makes a bad decision, swipes at it or whatever. But I just wonder what 15, 20 games would do for him, for his confidence, and to cement that partnership, because you just said...
you what it do.
Go on.
It give you the final thingy on him.
Yeah, it would.
You'd be able to make a decision because you'd know.
And I think centre-backs certainly, and I think we've seen this a few times, is that centre-backs need to play, need games, need to get an understanding. We've let players go who've come back through the ranks, and I'm not saying they're good enough, but someone like Shane Duffy's an interesting case where Shane was released, went to Yeovil, didn't he? Went on Yeovil on loan and then stayed, and then got a move.
Went to Blackburn, didn't he?
Yeah, got a move to Blackburn, then got a move to Brighton and came up, and now he's like the Irish.
He's a good centre-back. He's a
solid centre-back. But you only seen that from him playing games. And look at, I suppose the other one was, we've seen Eric Dyer.
Mustafi's
another
you
one.
Think he's good or not, he's played in the
World Cup winner,
I look at Mason Holgate and I think there's a very good centre-back in there, really. I think I'm one of the ones who still think he could play right-back, but I don't know whether he's offensively good enough. That it would be my only worry there. But I think as a centre-back, I think he's decent in the air, he's good on the ball, he's got a good temperament about him, and what I mean by that is he engages the striker, so he'll, we've seen it on loan at West Brom last year. I like that arrogance about him, like, who the fuck are you? I don't even know who you are, and getting involved. We've seen it with Firmino, throwing him into the stand at Anfield and not caring. And
I think his attitude's spot
on. I think all that's good, and I think if you played him, like I said, ironically, Allardyce came in and played Holgate centre-back with Ashley Williams, and Everton defensively were very good. And then the biggest mistake Allardyce made was changing it and putting like Michael Keane in with Jags and stuff, and then we lost, Holgate and Williams lost their rhythm together then. And then he was scratching around trying to get partnerships back. Yeah. And when you took them out the team, they both lost the edge, they lost the sharpness, and we give goals away that he wasn't happy with. I don't know. I mean,
I don't think this partnership works in terms of they're both stoppers, and Mina's just better at it at the moment. Holgate give you that pace. Maybe that's. I mean,
it's an interesting one.
The manager needs to look at it certainly, because if you've only got 3 centre backs, you can't. He's already played them in the cup games. Be interesting to see whether he played them. If he doesn't play before, whether he played them against Watford. So he's willing to play him in the cup.
Yeah.
So it's one for the manager. It's one for the. But it's funny because we're sitting here and we can't even make a decision on it, and we don't have to make a decision on it. We sit here and go, yeah, he should do that. But it's even us sitting here now. It's hard to make a decision because you still go back to like the defaults and go, I'm not 100% sure there, because we are so desperate for a win. But
Keane only got Premier League games because he left Man United. So he went to United and dropped down to Burnley and then came up and established himself. And he's a good defender, but from playing games, right? Yeah. So Mason Holgate will only know if he can't tell in training because training isn't for everybody. And what I mean by that is trying to shine every day. You should do, but it's difficult. What if he has a great training session and marks Moise Kean or Dom out the game in training? Is that really going to make the manager go, well, you know what? He kept Dom quiet so we can keep them quiet? No. And managers will kind of look and go, well, they're my senior centre-backs.
It's not, I don't think it's a position now where, or certainly at the moment, I don't think it's a position where people are saying Keane has been poor. I think you've seen it for England the other night, even though I didn't watch it. Keane was apparently really, really poor. The corners, he looked so bereft of confidence.
Not the pair of them, and Maguire actually came out and said, I don't think our club form's helping us.
He looked really lost. But it's still interesting that as fans, we're still going Schneiderlin, Sigurdsson, Coleman, but no one's even though we all know Keane's playing poorly, none of us.
Yeah, but if Zuma was on the bench, you'd be saying to drop Keane.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, Rick Jackson's made a brilliant point here. If Holgate had played the first 8 games to a similar standard as Keane has, there'd be no debate about whether he should be dropped. He'd be straight out the team.
I absolutely agree with that.
There's an element of double standards to me here. Keane gets a long run of games, whether he's playing well or not, but Holgate doesn't get the same chance. Rick, I fully agree with you, honestly.
I'm having to say, listen, that's what I'm saying now. I'm making those double standards right now.
You know what? I'm gonna be brave here.
Go on, Baz.
I think he should drop him.
Okay.
I think he should go with Holgate and Mina and just go. I'm giving you lads the next 3 or 4 games.
Cool.
Because at the moment we're not winning games. Yeah. We're letting goals in left, right, and centre. So we need a different partnership. The only caveat to that is the Seamus Coleman issue, but who knows? Jibril Sidibe might come in and be brilliant anyway, and then we're going, God, that was good. We were lucky that Seamus got banned there because he might. This is the issue I think that the manager's having at the moment, is that when he came, and I remember me and you speaking about this last year and when we were on the good run, right? Is that Marco Silva? What we'd seen of him was a manager that was very much playing on the edge. Okay, so it was risk and reward. We were trying to win games and we'd lose a few. The same way like Pochettino has done and teams like that. You know, Liverpool and City do it, only they are obviously much better at it than we are. But it's playing right on the edge. Okay, and that's what I feel as though we're trying to do with them. Or Marco Silva was that kind of manager for a large period of his reign at Everton so far. But lately, because of what's going on, and I don't know whether... And he probably does feel very vulnerable, and it's probably... Listen, there's lots of rumours going around that there's been meetings and he's been given X amount of games or whatever. So that's why he might be very cautious at the moment, trying to just play safe. But I think in playing safe, he's throwing away 50% of what made him a good coach, which is trying to win games. And I think sometimes you have to be brave and make decisions and go, you know what, this isn't working. And I'm going to risk it to win. Now, we could risk it and play Sidibe and Holgate in the back 4 at the weekend, and Everton win, and everyone's like, brilliant, that from the manager. Alternately, he could drop Keane and play Sidibe and Holgate, and we get beat 3-1, and everyone goes, why did he take Keane out the team? It's a difficult one. It's a very, very difficult one. Cumbrian Trophy Marks is saying Holgate's not a centre-back physically or mentally, too many errors in key areas in pre-season. But is that because he's been playing right-back, Mark? He sees himself as a centre-back. The club see him as a young centre-back. They see him every day, with all due respect to me and to you. And they think he's a centre-back. He's pacey. Michael Keane isn't playing well. You know that I like Michael Keane. He's been really poor this season. You know, he looks like a rabbit in the headlights at the moment. And if Zuma was still here, Keane would be nowhere near the side. We're just looking at it and going, is this a possible solution? Who knows? The manager sees him every day and ultimately he'll make the decision. But if Keane picked up an injury on Friday, Holgate would have to play, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
And that's the way you look at it. It's not like he's going to bring Lewis Gibson in.
I didn't give him a contact, Not him. I mean, it's not, Mark says, hi lads, today will be the last day I leave the form up for patrons to have their say on the manager situation. Reposting the link to the patrons feed, so anyone who's missed it has a chance to do it. Would be great. Would you like me to send the results once I close? Yes, please.
Yes, Mark.
Or should I do? Oh, do a video, Mark. Do a video.
Yeah, do a video actually. Mark. Your last one was
make sure
great.
you fill them in because Mark puts a lot of time and effort into this. So just fill in the form for him.
It takes literally 30 seconds or something. So just fill it in if you're a patron. They're on our website, on the patron page. Go on there. It takes a second.
Richard Parr says, evening lads, hope you enjoyed your Everton free weekend. Yes. Owen Park says, hi lad, shameless plug for my piece on the blog. Yeah, give that a...
Check Owen's. It's there actually on the patron page as well. I put it there.
Is it all or nothing for Silva on Saturday, Owen continues with?
Yes, I believe it is. Because I think if Everton are to lose at the weekend, I don't know how he could survive. No, and I'm hoping that we absolutely smash West Ham because we need to start winning football matches. We do. And if the manager is the coach that they think is going to take us forward, then we need to win games, don't we? I don't think any Premier League manager, in my opinion, can lose 5 games on the spin, 6 out of 7, with very favourable fixtures and survive, personally. And I don't think you can have 2 bouts of poor form and continuing your job. So it's a difficult one for Marco. I'm hoping that he makes the right decisions at the weekend and everyone's united and we beat them.
Derek Hilton says, after Sunday, I went looking for my boots. Everton are playing walking footy, aren't they? Come on, you Blues. I believe if you get your head right, you can do anything.
Yeah, agree. Got to work hard.
T-Logic 1991 says, all right, lads, will Marco change the system this weekend? Wouldn't mind 3 at the back. With Holgate coming in to help Keane, I'd take a draw just to stop the rot. Difficult that, because coming off an international weekend, he won't have a lot of his players
or time to do it
till Wednesday, Thursday. So, so it'll be difficult.
New system, isn't
difficult to put a system on unless he'd already been working on it. I mean, it makes sense because you got 3 at the back with Sidibé coming in. He could play wing back. Pitch, Dean could play high on the left, and you can do what you want with the midfield. So it make a lot more sense. I mean, it's something he should have done against Burnley, as far as I'm concerned. He should have played 3 at the back. It worked last year, and it probably would have worked this year. But as Baz said before, is he brave enough? Would he be brave enough? I don't know. Okay, Richard Purdy Blue says, hey fellas, happy Monday. Owen Park says, what show do you enjoy making the most?
Tough one. Final word when we win, which was a while ago. I don't know. I enjoy making all of them. It's just when we're not winning, sometimes it's very difficult when you're on a bit of a losing streak like we are. But there's none that we make and it's like it's a bind to make, none at all. I'm looking at new stuff and fresh stuff and how we can improve stuff and things like that. So, I love like the tactics show that me and the Piv do, because this one's either in bed or doesn't want to do it. Things like that are interesting to look behind all the numbers and stuff. So I don't know. I like all the stuff.
AOB, not to whatever. Did you see that article I sent you last night?
Yeah.
Why does the A1 have loads of sex shops on it?
It's amazing.
Like,
that's
BBC News.
That's frightening this week's
Richard Parr says, if all our hypothetical dreams come true and Jose Mourinho came in, what do you think he'd actually do with the formation and lineup? Who would go in, come out, and how would we play? I don't know. I'm not Mourinho.
I've been watching, funnily enough, the Coach's Voice on YouTube, and I've watched the Moyes one and was getting all starry-eyed about a time when we just let the manager get on with it and hope that we'd win, and we had some good players. But I've been watching Josie, because there's a few on there from him. Basically sits with a tactics board and does all that kind of stuff. And he's so knowledgeable, and listening to him actually talking through decisions and what the thoughts were before the game and how they looked at it is fantastic. And I think he could transform that Everton side. I think, listen, it's not even so much the formation what we play. It's the personnel in the formation that we play. So I don't think, well, Schneiderlin wouldn't play, is the reality, because he chased him at United because he wasn't mobile or good enough. I'm not sure Sigurd's going to play because I don't think he gives him enough. And so if he then replaced those two with energetic players, who knows? I mean, his Inter Milan side, which I was watching today, his front three were all strikers. It was Samuel Eto'o, Zlatan, Samuel Eto'o, Milito and Pandev, who were three strikers. And yet Eto'o and Pandev knew that they had to sometimes drop into midfield to make it a five. But in general, it was so they could break quickly. And he wanted mobile players all around it. And if you look at, you know, he went to United and they were crap. Won them the League Cup, won them the Europa League. They finished runners-up the next season. At Porto, we put quick players in around it. Chelsea. So he's been a fantastic coach. Whether he'd be able to do it at Everton, who knows? But what I would say is he'd have Everton very, very competitive. And I think he'd get Everton to Europe comfortably.
I think he'd want more, though, because I think what Mourinho wants in a team, certainly, is he wants a player in there who drives his mentality in there. So when he was at Chelsea, he had a few, didn't he? But he had someone like Drogba, who we knew. At Man United, he had Zlatan. And I think losing Zlatan was a big thing. It was a big thing for him, losing him, because he really was probably the real leader in the dressing room, the person who'd seen it and done it. You know, at Inter Milan, you mentioned there Eto'o playing him wide, and I know Eto'o didn't really like that, but I think he drilled it into him what he wanted from him. He enjoys big characters. I think he likes having big characters. I think what he doesn't like is some players who think they're big characters but aren't actually big characters, and I think that's why him and Pogba probably clashed, is because they probably thought, Pogba and Lukaku probably thought they were those people, but they just weren't. They just weren't those kinds of people. So I definitely think he'd go out looking, and it wouldn't surprise me if he went to another club and tried to get to Zlatan. It really wouldn't surprise me, because I think he wants people at clubs that can drive home his message on the pitch, because you can only go so far if your team don't take that attitude onto the pitch.
He talks about characters, he talks about working hard, he talks about, if you watch they're really good, honestly, just watch them if you've got time, but he talks about about not being the best team, but still being able to win. As he said, certain teams were better, they knew they were better than what he had, so we had to make sure that they fought harder and that they dropped in and kept it tight and looked to use he says things like, when they played Barcelona, he said we knew they were going to have 70% of the ball, because that's what they do. So we had to make sure with our 30% of the ball, we hurt them. And that's what we concentrated on. Let them off. He said, but if they're passing in front here, it doesn't mean anything if you're blocking off spaces. He talks about the low block and things like that. David Moyes one is really good about his time at Everton, whether you like Moyes or not, when you actually see him sitting there talking about what they did. And he's right, Everton were a high press team under Moyes. When you think about it, we had to work hard. At times we drop into a low block, and that's what we were doing then. But we broke quickly, and we had players who...
It's about becoming hard to beat, isn't it? It's about saying, if we can't beat you, you're not beating us, and maybe we can score off a set piece or something. You've got to use everything you've got. You can't just be... You can't just say, like Martinez did, goals from set pieces don't count. They do. They very much do.
The ironic thing about that is he won his only trophies ever won from a set piece, which is berserk. Mark, Cumbrian trophy against us, why can't we play 4-4-2? Well, I think we can play 4-4-2, but the thing about it is, it's being brave enough to play it. I think if you put Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Moise Kean together as a two up front, I think they'd cause teams issues. They really would. And then you could have Bernard on one side and Richarlison on the other, or Iwobi on the other if Richarlison isn't playing as well as he can. And you could have Gomez and Delph as your two, and other times you could mix it up. I don't think there's a way that you should just say we only play this way ever. I don't think that's very good. I think the best managers are the most flexible managers. The best managers are ones that look and go, we're playing this team at the weekend, and 4-4-2 might actually help us here by having those two lads together. And I think both of those lads would work well together. I really do. I think on their own, they both got shortcomings, which is overexposed. I think if you got someone like Mourinho in, and he got someone like Zlatan in, then their 2 young kids' games will fly through the roof because of the experience. But it's one of them. Barry Stevens says, I seem to be in the minority. I think Silva should have until a Watford game at least. I don't think you're in the minority, Barry. What I think is, people are looking and going, why should... That's 3 games away, right? So a lot of people are quoting this 3 games that he's got. And some people, rightly or wrongly, are looking and going, well, hang on, if we lose to West Ham and Brighton, why should he still be in place for the Watford game? Because it's a cup game. Well, so what? So if we beat Watford and then we lose to Tottenham and we lose to Norwich, does he stay in because we're then in the quarter-final, but we're bottom of the league? So I think people are just looking at it and going, this season is still an opportunity, and it still is an opportunity because we're 4 or 5 points off fighting for European places, which I think where Everton needs to be and where the manager needs to be. So it's at what point can he start to turn it? Hopefully it's this Saturday. Hopefully he mixes it up Saturday. We come on, we beat West Ham and we go to Brighton with renewed confidence then of like, we can beat these because they'll be open. Brighton are a good football side now under Potter. They'll play, which means Everton will be able to play. We could go to Brighton and win. And then we're sat here in 2 weeks having won 2 games of football and going, we're a couple of points off Europe and everyone's looking confident again and Jean-Philippe Gbamin's coming back and blah, blah, blah. That's how quick football can change. But I also don't think you can go, well, he's untouchable till a Watford game and throw away 2 more league games because I think to me that's crazy.
Yeah, you're talking November then, aren't you?
Yeah, and Spurs to come at home, it's like, no thanks.
Steve Donahue says, hi lads, enjoyed the interview with Rob. What a great subject. Howard Kendall, great manager and really great player. Just makes watching this team mature. I hope Everton start showing some ambition. Give us a team and a manager we can be proud of again. I'm lucky to have seen a few times in my lifetime. Let's hope the young kids can see it. Steve Kelly says, I know we only played Sheffield Wednesday, but I thought Mason looked more comfortable playing with Mina than he did with Keane against Lincoln. Wasn't trying to be negative, just hate early kickoffs mainly. No, I know, I hate early kickoffs. Kane says, Amsterdam for me Friday night and a music festival on Ajax's pitch on Saturday. Another weekend without Everton. Not going to lie, I'm defo buzzing to be back for Brighton away. On a serious note, it's not all doom and gloom when you go with the best mates week in, week out. Absolutely. Terry Cook says, finally caught a live of 5 for the first time in weeks thanks to crappy weather cutting work short. Is it time to give youth a chance, or is the situation too dire to throw them in?
What who are we talking? Like Tom Davis, or are we talking Anthony Gordon? I think Anthony Gordon is a shout for the bench. I'm not going to lie. I think a little spark like that would spark people's interest. I mean, a lot of people are talking about Cenk Tosun, who scored again for Turkey. You know, should he be given a go? He's got 5 goals in 5 games for Turkey and 2 assists or something. Should he be brought in? Who knows? There's more questions than answers at the moment, I think, isn't it? But I think for me, the key will be the midfield at the weekend and how he makes it up. And I think that's where he needs to start because that's the heart of the team, is the centre of the park. And I think it's got to be, for me, it's got to be Gomez, Delph and Iwobi in that 3. But I'm not sure it will be. Ian Lyons says, even a lad suffering from a bad case of manmonia, so needs cheering up, bring Rafa or Josie in now and let's stop messing about, I'm going to say. Roger Cassar says, I believe we'll get Mourinho and I think he'll be able to attract a higher level of player. Mourinho would change the way other teams and players look at us. He can take us on to the next level. I don't think you can argue with that. Would you have taken 17th with cup success? At the start of the season, I didn't hear anyone say no when that question was asked on the radio podcast. I would have said no.
Yeah.
I would. And listen, winning a cup, fantastic. 17th in the league, not a chance. Not a chance.
My heart couldn't take that.
Well, not just, where's the progress there? You win a trophy. Where's the progress about it, of building a team? If you're 17th? No, mate. Honestly, I wouldn't. I know, listen, Barry, I know what you're saying. If we beat Watford, we're in the quarter-finals and we get a decent draw. But how about if we lost the 2 games and he was replaced by Jose Mourinho, and we beat Watford, and we're in the quarter-finals with Mourinho of the League Cup, the cup he always wins. How about that one? I don't know. Personally, I hope he goes on a run now, Silva, and wins every game, to be honest with you, because it's settled everything down. We can just get back to talking about players and winning games and, you know, how we can improve our squad in January. Because this is grim. I hate having to go on about the manager. It's just grim. It means you're unsettled. I don't want to be settled. Cumbrian Toffee says, watch the interview with Rob earlier. If you could pick one player from Howard's team to help the current team, who would it be? One player from Howard's team. In 85, Neville Southall. Even though I like Pickford.
Andy Gray. I
mean, Reed's a shout as well in the centre of the park. To be honest, Mark, any of that 11 would help our team now. It really would. Because they were that good. Centre-back goals and stop goals going in at the other end.
Owen Park says, unpopular Everton opinions? ?
Sean Dyche for the manager, Owen, which you keep trying to throw at us.
I don't know. I've got lots of unpopular opinions about Everton. But
unpopular Everton opinions?
People, send them in. Bill Cummings says, what would your lineup be for Saturday? For me, this is for Bill. He says, Pickford, Sidibe, Keane, Mina, Dean, Delph, Gomez, Iwobi, Richarlison, Keane, Bernard.
Yeah, that would be my team. Well, Holgate for Keane. No, that would be my team.
You flip-flopped on
I am.
On Holgate.
You know what? No, it's because I'm just not sure whether 2 defensive changes are the right thing to do. I don't know. But that will be, to be honest, that team will be one I'd be confident of.
Nigel Andrews says, for me, lads, when Silva brought in Mina and Zuma last season, that was the partnership he wanted.
Really? I think when he bought Mina, at first it was Mina and Keane he wanted. I think Zuma was cover.
I don't know if anyone wants Keane, to be honest.
Stop it.
I can't be doing, honestly, I can't be doing with players when that in that position that are confidence players. I just can't.
He could sit there and tell you he isn't, though.
Yes, he definitely.
I don't think you know.
His season got harpooned after that first England game.
I know, but
literally just went. You seen it just go. And
Okay, next.
T-Logic says, with the Holgate shout, should we not take the same stance with Tom Davis? We've given him 20 games, and then we would know.
I mean, that's a good question as well.
I agree, but what I would say to that is the 20 games should have been 2 seasons ago. When Koeman come in, he should have left Tom Davis in the team. The second season. Koeman's second season.
Yeah.
Tom Davis should have played
the season brilliantly.
20 games of that season. Forget about all your other players, because actually, if he played the first 20 games, Klaassen would have bedded into the Premier League a lot faster. A lot of those players that come in would have bedded in if Everton had left it alone and maybe introduced those players through the Europa League. He mismanaged that whole thing.
Yeah.
Klaassen could have been a decent player if he was allowed to have come in slowly. Sandro, all of them. Not saying they would have been good. I'm just saying that you would have found out more about them instead of introducing all these players.
Yeah.
So he messed about with Klaassen's career and messed about with Tom Davis's career by not setting proper paths. And that's maybe where the director of football comes in and says, you know, you leave him, you let him settle down, let him get into training, let him, and that's where we're Keane, I suppose where we are with Keane at the moment. Maybe that's what the manager's trying to do, is let him bed into the whole club and get his head right for the whole thing. But for me, that's when I'm not saying he shouldn't now, because I still think there's a player there, but you're never ever going to see a player of his age develop by just being dipped in one game and then another game and then 5 minutes here and 10 minutes there. It's just not going to happen. Players have to play consistently, and if they're not ever, especially young players, they're never ever gonna learn. So yeah, I agree with you. Teddy Saster's draw is enough for me at the weekend. Plus Marco said himself it's a must win. Might come back to bite him, that statement. Smells of pure desperation. Hopefully not, and we win, of course. I think everyone just needs a win just to pick us up, and also the table could look dramatically different, and then you go into that Brighton game with a lot more confidence, thinking, well, you know what, if we're in this one as well, suddenly you're in the top half and it doesn't look so bad and everyone else is struggling then. But if it goes the other way, then there's nothing down for them. It's as simple as that. Steve Kelly, lads, win or bust on Saturday for me. I would love someone to stick in a tough tackle first minute on Saturday, set the tone for the game. It's time for Everton to get a bit nasty in their play, but the question is there anyone in the team who could do that?
It's only good to stick a tough tackle in if you don't pick up a yellow card. If Delph dives in and he's booked in the first minute, that's his game out the window, isn't it? Which happened at Bournemouth. Put that tackle in, stupid tackle really, at Bournemouth, and then he couldn't make another tackle, and that's where the manager then should have replaced him. But he didn't, he left him. Coleman, showed last week how quick, if you put a missed time tackle in, how quickly you can be sent off. So I know what you're saying, Steve, them days are gone now where you can rattle someone, but we can do that by pressing high and by getting shots away early on and get the crowd engaged, or a good challenge, a good meaty challenge that's fair, wins the ball. Then yeah, you're right, but you'd have to be careful now with VAR and with referees and stuff. So fair, hard but fair, I think, what you're saying, Steve.
John Burns says, "Hi lads, hope you're both well. Silva will be gone if we lose on Saturday. I hope we should have. I feel we should have moved for a replacement during the international break. Maybe, just maybe, and I'm just saying off the top of my head, maybe they've in the international week they might have gone looking for a new manager." In preparation.
Sometimes things take longer to sort out. Maybe they haven't. Maybe they fully back Marco. Let's see.
Steve Kelly says, another player knock on the door with his international form is Tosin. Would you give him a go if we went 4-4-2?
I don't know, is the answer. Because can we get enough of the right service to him? That's the thing. Is that I think he's one of those centre forwards that needs the right service, but needs games. No one can. He's not explosive enough, Cenk Tosun, to come off the bench and to change a game, and that be enough. I think he's one of them strikers that has to play and play. He'll score goals. Then.
I'd like to see him though play. If the formation was changing, we play two up front. I'd like to see him given an opportunity.
Who would you put him with? Dom or with Keane?
I'd play with Keane and say you be the
link man.
You be the Brian Garside says you nailed it. Flexibility, utilising the squad, unpredictability is hard to defend against. Swedish Toffee's annual trip on Saturday. See you there, everybody. Come on, you Blues. T-Logic, if Silva does all right, not great, and gets us around 10th of January, would you give him till the end of the season? Then let him go then.
Yeah.
I imagine that's the way it would be. I still think if there's better managers out there who were willing to come, it wouldn't bother me if we just went, because I don't think he's built anything that is like worth knocking down. Simon Rouse says even goal. Kane Forshaw says, what are you pulling faces for there? I can see it on the corner of my eye.
I'm yawning and trying not to yawn.
Okay.
No, but I think what you meant was he hasn't built anything that isn't worth knocking down.
He hasn't built anything. That's the point.
Yeah.
He hasn't built.
So what you mean is it wouldn't have as much disruption.
It wouldn't have any disruption.
It's not like we've got a way of playing, is there?
It wouldn't have any disruption if he left the club. It wouldn't. He's not built anything. The only person that might be affected by it is Richarlison.
But you don't know that because other players say that he's great.
That's why I said might.
Yeah. You say other players might be affected because they like him. You don't know, do you?
I mean, if they like them, they try for them.
You don't know.
True fact.
Next.
True story. Kane says, what if the manager starts the same team as he did versus Perry, but gets a scrappy 1-0 win? Burnley gets a scrappy 1-0 win with a poor performance. I still personally think if that happened, it'd send the wrong message that he's not the right man for the job. Going to take a lot to change my opinion. Don't know about you.
No, but that's fair enough, isn't it? But I think we've got to take a win any way we can get it at the moment. Let's be honest, Kane. Let's get a little bit of momentum going. And sometimes that's how you start.
Can't play the same team, by the way, because
but sometimes that's how you start runs, and that's how you build stuff. You get a win that is a scrappy, crappy win. And you go from there and you go, right, okay, we've won that one. And you go somewhere else and you nick a win and a bit of confidence comes back. And you get on a bit of a roll. That's sometimes how it's done. I understand what you're saying. Ultimately, the board have to decide whether they think he's the long-term answer. If they're unsure whether he's the long-term answer, and I mean really unsure, then the reality is, why are they leaving it? Because if they're unsure, you're either sure that he's going to be who you think he's going to be, or you don't. And if you don't think he's who you thought he was going to be, then and there's a better manager knocking around, then you change him. But if you look at him and go, you know what, he's a really good coach, the players like him, we need to improve a little bit on this, but ultimately we think in another 6 months he'll be at that level, you keep him, don't you?
My worry is that they've looked around and not found a better person. That would be the worry, that Mourinho isn't available. That would be my worry. Mina and Holgate is worth a go, to be fair. That's from Bill Cummings. He also said, and I was waiting for this one, you should have a big thing where people say something that you predict them to know, like a QI.
Okay, well.
Vlasic scored last night. Did we ever give him enough minutes?
Well, not under Marco Silva, because he literally was given pre-season games last pre-season, and that was it. And he made a snap decision on him. And then I think the lad, bit like Lookman, went somewhere where he felt he was appreciated. They played him and guaranteed him games, and he's developed. Like most players will, if they play games, they'll develop. So the answer to your question is no, we didn't give him enough minutes. But my question would be, is he quick enough to play in the Premier League? And again, we won't know, because he's not quick enough to play wide in the Premier League, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But could he have played where... Yeah, I'll put it this way. Would he have been any worse than Gylfi is at the moment in that position? Would he have offered us something different? He probably would, because he runs past the striker, so...
Simon Rouse says, will it take more than one win to pick us up? I think that this day and age, losing 5 out of 6 games is unacceptable in the Premier League, especially against the opposition we have had. It's difficult, isn't it? Because I agree, and that's why I said it shouldn't come down to... I said this last week, it shouldn't come down to saying you've got 3 games to save your career. For me, you should already know. The club should already know. Of course, they don't want upheaval. Maybe it sounds stupid, but maybe they think if they've got to wait for someone out there, they think it's better to keep Silva in charge than go and get bring an Unsworth in or something. And in the meantime, we might turn it round because he's been told he's only got 3 games.
Well, we all said we don't want this thing we had last time, which is sack the manager because you don't think he's right, and then have no plan B, and you end up bobbing along losing games, and it puts you ultimately in a bit of trouble. And that's what we did last time. I remember all those years ago when Howard left, and we took 6 weeks to get Mike Walker, or 5 weeks to get Mike Walker, and in that time he lost 6 out of 7 games, and that put us in relegation. That was the problem. That put us in
Christmas. Yeah. It was Christmas as well, wasn't it?
Gabriel was in charge, and we 6 out of 7 games. Next minute we struggled for the rest of the season. You'd have to be very careful.
Set the tone, that didn't it?
Yeah. So you've got to be careful and look and go. Well, last time we were all depressed because when Koeman went, we thought we'd have a manager in the next week. And it went on, and it went on. Listen, it wasn't Unsworth's fault. He had a fractured squad that maybe the players didn't quite respect him because he was unsy around the place, and then the next minute he was picking up, he was in charge of them. I don't know, he didn't win enough games, although we won both of his home games in the Premier League. I don't know, it's a difficult one, and maybe it is better to just keep Silva if someone said, well, hang on, I'm not sure, or this or that, I don't know.
Richard Parr says, have you lads seen the weird rumour that Everton have been impressed with Sidibe and are looking to send him back? Source is Tutto Sport, which is an Italian website. I have, yeah, we've both seen that, and there's another one on Tutto saying that we're looking at the PSG right back, or one of their right backs who signed the new contract.
I was told before that that's nonsense. Yeah. Right. So,
and Steve Kelly says, great to see a lot of feedback from your question on Saturday about improving Toffee TV.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you for everyone.
Some of you don't want us to have a match day, though, do you?
No.
Some of you don't want us to have a match
day.
Doesn't.
Steve wants us to do a pre-match build-up show, and then a phone-in, and then a projector on a wall where it all went wrong, and then live fee to Japan so we can stay up all night.
Yeah.
Um,
Can you do the live at 5? At 5 a.m. in the morning?
Please. Barry Stevens says, our home record hasn't been built by Silva. By Vlasic's own admission, the players... Oh, okay. I think that's you saying he hasn't built anything. So he's saying our home form hasn't been built by him.
No,
I don't know.
He hasn't built anything. They haven't built anything.
By Vlasic's own admission, the players were scared of playing at home the season before him arriving. Everyone forgets what a shit show we were before. I've just said we were in. That's Koeman's doing, isn't it? Koeman, awful. Martinez, horrific. So, the truth is, we've been in decline since Moyes left. That's the reality.
That is the reality.
Whether we like it or not. What I would say, Barry, is, and you'll know that I do have Marco's back, is that he's had 52 games in charge of Everton. We've won 21, drawn 11 and lost 20. So we've almost lost 50% of the games he's been in charge in. So is that good enough for an Everton manager who spent 250 million to lose half of the games you've been in charge for? I don't know, you decide. I'm just giving you your questions back to you. Cumbrian Toffee says, who should take responsibility for not bringing in a centre-back cover, the director of football or the manager?
Well, I've said, I've gone on record and said it was the director of football. I was here. We were here on deadline day, and I said it then. I said, it was negligent by the director of football.
What do you make of the rumours that the manager was offered quite a few alternatives to Kurt Zouma and he didn't want any of them?
Well, doesn't someone have to take that decision?
I'm just saying.
No, but doesn't someone who knows the details have to make that decision? Isn't that what the director of football's there? I could easily put this on Marco Silva, but I refuse to. The director of football is there to make those decisions and say, and has to be the one wearing the big boy pants and just say, we're not getting him. So, or, right, tell you what, we'll sign him, and if Zouma becomes available, you can have him, but you don't have to sell Holgate or even have to sell Keane. But the point being is that we need a centre-back. Now, if it was Silva, then it's going to come back and hurt him, and it's going to come back and hurt him when he gets the sack. That's you can't. If he's made that decision, we had this with Koeman. He wanted Giroud, wanted Giroud. Alternatives were given to him, we're told, and he never.
Well, he was given alternatives, and real alternatives, good ones.
And ultimately, it cost him his job, and that's the way it is. That is ultimately the way it is.
I mean, if it had played out properly, we'd have got Tomori, who's in the England team.
Yeah, it would have.
And he's done very well for Chelsea.
It would have. I mean,
and he'd have probably been boss for us.
There is cruel irony in what's happened with David Silva going to Arsenal, and then Tomori's become the player, and that's meant that Zouma, not every game Zouma played the last Premier League game.
Yeah, but that's only because he picked up an injury.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is he will get games, but he wants to be first choice. He would be first choice in an Everton team right now.
Well, that's why he wanted to come as well.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I don't know all the facts. It was just something that I heard over the weekend that the manager had turned his nose up at a few centre backs, but I don't know that for fact. And Marcel Brands might tell a story totally different. But Marcel Brands' his position is to do that, so therefore he does have to take a bit of the responsibility.
He's his boss. Well. He's got to make that decision. Kane says, "Can't believe how downhill Twitter has gone, just full of knobheads."
Agreed.
The Tuesday topic tomorrow.
But it is agreed.
Watch it. Who don't let others say their own opinions anymore. This is why I try and use this as much as I can with anything related to Everton. Lads, keep up the work. Keep up the good work. Your videos get me through the weekend. I love the Live at 5 content. Ignore the minority. To be honest, Kane, and thank you, it is appreciated.
It is.
I think that point you're driving on, Baz, yesterday was actually someone putting a video out of us on the Reds, putting a video out of us, one of our shows last week, which is weird. It basically means that someone on Patreon is a Red leaking our content, which is weird. You pay for that. And it was basically someone, and we've had it all day. People have been coming in here, the Reds going, about the video I did last week. We did a countdown clock. And for some reason, you all think it's hilarious, and basically you all think it's hilarious because a certain red called Andy Eaton, who's from the Anfield Rap, keeps on basically putting videos of me thinking the things I say are ridiculous. When to me,
you're just trying to get a rise out
to
of
me,
you.
and I'm not interested. I've blocked him. I just think he's a bad dickhead. I mean, I'm not being funny. If I supported a team that were top of the league, European champions, the business I'd created was flying and everyone was doing well out of it, and I employed 10, 12 people, I wouldn't be interested in anything else. Like, I'm not interested in them right now. So I don't understand.
It is dead weird.
It's dead weird.
It's not like we're neck and neck and we're having a go at them or Everton are going to be better. It's just dead weird.
Which is dead weird. So, and then so what you do is you put clips out of people because you know that you've got a big enough audience
the cults will jump on it.
That they'll all jump on it. So,
and then off the back of that, you get a few dickhead Evertonians who are jealous anyway, or are just weird knobheads anyway.
Who agree
with Liverpool fans. So that's what happens. But
instead of just understanding what we were saying and
or
the
just
context,
ignore it.
Yeah, or the context we were saying it in, and just be like, how it all worked out. In fact, the full video, which if any of you have watched the Premier League show from last week, was very complimentary to Liverpool, which some Evertonians won't like, but that's fair enough. We live in a reality, right? We live in a reality where sometimes you've got to go, as much as I hate that thing, I understand and appreciate how people get to a certain place. And if it's through graft hard work, what can you do? You can only go, I would like to see something like that. So that's where it comes from, but we've done the Tuesday topic and it's really good on it. And that'll be out tomorrow.
Kane, Mark says, Cumbrian Sophie, use the forum rather than Twitter. And that's it, Kane. Loads of patrons on the forum. Go on there and just speak about Everton on there. No dickheads on there. No one's going to call you a knobhead. They might agree with what you're saying, but it'll be done like it should be, which is basically, mine's views a bit different than that. But, and
when we get the phoning going, which we will soon once I've figured something
basically
out. Then you'll have to be on Patreon and have to be on Discord to get that sorted.
But it'll be boss that.
It will be.
That'll be another
I honestly thought I came in Friday for on my day off for 4 or 5 hours, thought I'd cracked it all, got it all working, and then I come in today, tried to do it, and it won't work. It won't work.
But normally, that's he shorts that normally though.
But I had sorted it.
No, but this has happened before, but then you've gone, I know what it is, and you've done it. But I've got full faith in it.
I will sort it.
Just relax. It's just that'll be even better. When that happens, that's another dimension in it. Like the Twilight Zone. Yeah. But you're right, Kane, it's gone downhill, it's grim. And I was saying to Ped before, and I said it on the thing, I could probably quite happily walk away from Twitter, because it's just... there's loads of great people on there, don't get me wrong, and when I say there's dickheads on there, I'm talking about a very, very small minority. I really am, honestly. But they're normally the loudest, and you normally see it and go, and it's not even, most of the time, it's not even about me or him or anything. It's I see it with other things creeping in anywhere, where people might have just said a comment about a player or a formate, and you see the fucking knobhead, all that, and you're like, they're just giving their opinion on something. Yeah. Why are you so vitriolic about it? You know, and that isn't even anything to do with us half the time. It's it's just, and people who I like, who I know aren't like that.
Watch the Tuesday topic. Honestly, the Tuesday topic covers all this.
Just check that out.
What you're doing there is you're doing a Twitter. You're putting an hour-long conversation.
But that's just for these guys.
No, I know, but you're putting an hour-long conversation into 280 characters, and it doesn't work. It does not work. Stephen Kelly says,
use Twitter instead.
Twitter's
the one.
Twitter's. What do you make of certain people questioning brands, and Tony Grant saying he knew he'd take us down? That was a strange conversation.
Tony Grant, right? And Tony's always been all right with me. I've known him, known him for years because I worked there and stuff, and he's always been all right with me and all that. But Tony Grant is still, I don't want to say bitter.
I think he's got a chip on his shoulder.
He's got a grievance with Marcel Brands, because Marcel Brands essentially gave him the heave-ho from Everton. So that's where that's come from. And he backtracked, actually, because people were like, nah, they won't. And he was like, oh, hopefully not. and all this, whereas if he was going to be... I think what Tony has to realise, without telling him what he should do, is he's a professional coach now. He's assistant manager at Brisbane Roar. So he's in the professional football world again. Airing your dirty laundry on Twitter isn't good for him. Because if he's going to move forward and do well in football, all of this stuff undermines what you're doing as a coach. So I think Tony needs to just step away from that. If someone asks him about an Everton performance, he can turn around and say, oh, we were crap today, or oh, they were good, or whatever. But I think when you're making it personal, you've got to deal with these people in real life, in that area that he's in. And if he comes back to Europe because him and Fowler are doing and then all of a sudden...
What if a job came? What if he worked hard for the next 3 years, done brilliantly well coaching, and a job come up at Everton that he was qualified for, and he had to walk in and speak to Marcel Brands?
And he's just wrecked himself, hasn't he? So I don't agree with that. What was the first bit?
Nothing, that was it, questioning Brands and Tony Gantz.
Oh, and the other people questioning Brands. Well, listen, what happens is, when things are going bad, people look at everything. That's why those WhatsApp nonsense stories were going around about Dunk jumping over and battering Boa Morte and the ground with the cracking under the... Well, that was you. The ground's going to fall apart.
It was as true as other ones.
Early testing on the site, and then went on to say about all of that nonsense. Because everything's going wrong at the minute, feels like. You've got Liverpool fans who go, oh, you know what? Our Jimmy, Fred's cousin's auntie is a surveyor at that, and they'll put it out, and then people believe it, like you were saying with Facebook groups and stuff. And then after 3 or 4 rounds, people start to believe it, and then people go, well, you know what? That could be right because this has happened or that's happened. And then it seems to me that there's a band of Evertonians who are A, waiting for us to fail and can't wait, and B, are just so pessimistic that they believe anything that's said.
Yeah, of course they do.
And then when you put that mishmash together of people wanting... There's people out there now who would rather Everton get beat at the weekend 3-0 so that Marco Silva loses his job than Evertonians who want us to win. There'll be people out there who want the stadium to collapse, Evertonians, so they can say that I knew they wouldn't look at none of this or that because Ken Knight's still involved and all of that, rather than going, you know what, let's just move past all of these things. I want Everton to win 5-0 at the weekend. I want Moise Keane to get 4. I want Michael Keane to score. I want us to be buoyant. I want us to bounce in here Monday and be like that, talking about it. What a performance that was. That's what I want. If it goes the other way, I'll deal with the fallout. The same at the ground. I want the ground to be the best it can be. If it goes the other way, oh, well, I'll bitch, don't worry. I'll bitch and moan about it if there's reasons for it. But what I won't do is buy into people making fake WhatsApp stories and other people just wanting it so much to be true so they can have a go or they can whatever. That, to me, is massively weird.
Teddy Sass says, are you both surprised by the amount of people who seem to still be backing Silva, aggressively backing him as well? Baffles me completely.
Well, hang on. No, I'm not surprised because there'll be people who want the club to do well and want the manager to do well. So they will. Some people will, and you've got to respect that, right? Like, who's this from? Is it Teddy? Teddy, I fully respect your view, without a shadow of a doubt, that you think we should change him, and I'm not gonna stand there and go, you're fucking disloyal, or you're this or you're that, because you've got your reasons, right? And I've got no issue with that. Same as Ped is like that, right? And things like that. I looking, and he's worrying me at the moment, and I've said that, and that's why the Mourinho conversations happened and the Benitez one. But I still back him. I want us to do well. I don't want to be the person that goes, I hope we lose at the weekend so he loses his job. I don't want that to happen. I want us to just be boss. If he loses his job because he's not good enough, so be it. I'm not going to cry into my pillow. I'm not going to go, we've lost a big opportunity. It's done. He's a grown man earning a lot of money. So I want to lose sleep over him. But I don't have a go with people for backing him or other people for... as long as you're not abusive about him or personal about him, then sound. If you want him to go, that's fine, because you are fully entitled to your opinion as an Evertonian. But I don't think you can't really call other people who want to back him. I don't think so.
Right, let's get through these.
Go on, mate.
Yeah, done an hour.
Yeah, go on.
Brian Garside says, this is so like Martinez, slow, predictable. Everton play with pace and verve. Pace on the ball with lots of movement. We have players good enough to do this and guaranteed way of getting the fans behind them and winning games. We did it last spring. Why has Marco Silva changed?
Well, that's one thing for me very quickly. He ripped up the best bit of Everton last year, which was Dean and Bernard. That, to me, it blows me mind. I'd love to ask him. I'd love to ask him that.
Gary O'Sullivan said, could we get a podcast off you, please, fellas? For what? For this? For this?
It probably will be
let me
for
know.
this.
Derek Houghton says...
Yeah, it is, because whenever it's done, of course.
Okay. I never even think about the other club. I don't care about them. I'm a Blue and I've been since I was 7. That's 53 years. I have mates who are Reds and I will listen, but I don't care. Why do Blues talk about Liverpool all the time?
Well, if that's... We will talk about it, because they're on the Premier League show. So we talk about every club on the Premier League show. And Derek, that's fine. And again, opinion. And you live your life your way, and that's sound. But they're in our city. There are rivals. Whether there are rivals for leagues and stuff is different, of course it is, but they're in our city. And when I see a team doing... So, the reason why I will look at Liverpool is 4 years ago, before they got Klopp, Everton had just finished above them. So they were in and around the same... We were in the same kind of level as them, I think, really. Where we were jostling for that position. They might have had some better players, but it wasn't a big thing. We were in and around them. Yeah. And they've gone through the stratosphere, and we've gone like that. So therefore, for me, we have to look at that and go, well, we can use them to, as like, look, that's what can be done. The same way as I look at Spurs and go, we could do that, what Tottenham have done. But I know what you mean, and that's a fair point.
Kane says, can't you just put your phones on loudspeaker and put it to the mic? We want it to
sound good.
We want it to sound good.
We probably could.
We want it so that you can hear us and we can hear you, and it's not just a simple.
Kane, you're a beautiful human being. People deserve to hear your voice.
It has to run through the system so that you can hear it properly.
Ian Lyons, I know you've probably asked to interview our players, so why do Everton not let you? If they had, then they would know how we feel about the state of play. I think, to be honest, we will get interviews with Everton. We're working on it, right? But I think, to be honest, A, you couldn't let him near them. And B, I think they probably know how fans feel. If anyone monitors the Twitter, they will anyway.
But just turn off the Twitter.
The Twitter, anyway. That's it. Let's wrap it up, because you can see me moving around, because I need to go to the...
Jimmy Riddle.
Yes. In fact, I think I'm just going to go.
There we go. Right, we're finishing up. Thank you as ever for joining us. Went all right, that.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
We'll be back tomorrow with more. So make sure you check out the interview with Rob. And make sure you check out the Tuesday topic tomorrow. That'll be out nice and early, because Billy's been editing it as we speak. He's been doing it over there. He's been working hard.
Billy turns up every week. Billy, he doesn't let us down.
Don't be a hero.
No,
just because you are, don't be. There you go. Thanks for watching. See you all later. Bye. Billy, don't be a hero.